Hey, everybody, we're live. Awesome. Sorry about last week. Just actually had the bad luck of going live, and as I was doing everything, it would not go live. And I'm like, it's my internet. Sometimes it does slow down, and I know out here in the country we have a lot of challenges that way. But anyway, um, it was the internet was down. So, anyways, I'd like to give a shout out to Lethbridge Honda. They're kind of a real estate retailer that I've kind of been collaborating on a few little small projects with. Just want to shout out to them and looking forward tomorrow. I'm going to be going there to do a film review on a basically like a showroom spotlight on a dirt bike. So I'm not going to tell them what that is right now. I'll save it for social medias. That video will be coming out next Tuesday. So look forward to that. So I'll be filming all day tomorrow and then doing some of the areas that I'm going to be looking at when it comes to filming some future projects and everything like that. So what we're going to do with this channel is we're going to do a lot of dirt biking this summer. I'm consolidating some of the equipment that I'm having, and I'm doing a trail work. Hey, buddy, how's it going, Juan? Good to see you here. I'm doing these lives just to kind of reinvigorate the channel. So Juan is a great riding partner. He's my only riding partner, so that's awesome to hear. We have a couple people that showing on live. This is just a 15-minute moto minute. So again, come and go as you please. It's just like a party. You just come in there and decide what you want to do. So if you got time and you want to hear the chatting, that's fine. If you want to chat with me on the comment section, that'll be great too. So yeah, so tomorrow I'm going to be doing a showroom spotlight on a dirt bike, and pumped out for that. But this little 15-minute chats are just basically trying to get reinvigorate the channel a little bit, and so we're just talking a little bit about trail riding. I don't have much under the belt. Unfortunately, the last few years have been a roller coaster ride. Have a good bike, have everything to do it, just not the time. And Juan has been a great, awesome riding partner for when we did go out. And so those are going to be some of the things that I want to continue on and build upon. So I do plan on riding, of course, down in my neck of the woods. That's where probably the majority of the riding is going to go. I am going to make sure that I do some riding out in British Columbia and then back around the Edmonton area. So Juan, don't get rid of your bike yet. We're gonna still do a lot of riding and everything like that. So that's kind of the type of trail riding I'm doing. I want to kind of look at single track in Arizona. So we have Sandy Smith from Arizona. Yeah, no, I'd like to go to the States. I mean, technically, I am practically in the States. I only live 2 miles north of the Montana border, and I heard Montana is a really good area to ride. And I think that'll be my first trail riding out of the country. Of course, I'll have to get some health insurance and some stuff sorted out because dirt biking can cause a little bit of a problem, but risk factors galore. We can manage it. But yeah, no, I definitely want to kind of do some stuff. Single track in Arizona, I've been watching a lot of YouTube channels with it, and there's no shortage of awesome tracks out there, especially the great weather. You have the open network, and you have a really good moto community in Arizona, and also Utah is pretty good as well. It's kind of in the neighborhood in the states area in the southern Midwest ish. My geography is good, but yeah. So I think I'm going to try Montana first. I know I have a couple people that because my websites that I'm on are really close to Montana. I think I'm going to try like Caspel, a Whitefish area, some of those trails out there. I'll be hooking up with a couple of the guys down there. Now, right in my backyard, I don't have a real trail network. We have natural areas. And unfortunately, a lot of those natural areas are land leased by the ranchers. And it's got a little bit of a kind of political conflict point. You are allowed to use them, but in theory, you're supposed to call the rancher to get permission, and they always say no. But they do permit off-highway vehicles. So the soft diplomacy, I think, is what I'm going to try to use. But beyond that, right across the street from my house, maybe a half kilometer down the road, there's an old bootlegging trail where they used to do smuggling of whiskey. Why I'm known to be in Whiskey Gap. So those ones there, I'm looking at going down that trail. It's been, I would say, at least 100 years before the last time anybody went there. It will be kind of a shorter ride due to the fact where, uh, because you're going to hit the border, we're only 2 miles. Might be like a 4 mile trail, maybe a bit more by the time you go around the rivers and creeks and everything like that. Because you're going to hit the border, and of course, you will not be able to cross the border. There's a fence there and signage and everything. So basically, that trail there is called the Whiskey Gap Trail. A lot of bootleggers in 1800s and early 1900s, when the prohibitions were around 1918 to 1930-ish in the States. Uh, that's when the liquor was going both ways. So it would go from Whiskey Gap to Fort Benton, Montana. Now, like I said, that trail is going to be really nice, hidden in the hills. Never been down it, so I can't really explain it. From the road point of view, you're riding in between the gap, it's called. And then there's going to be about 3 or 4 water crossings, river crossings, and just a snaky trail. Once you get to the end, probably meet a fence, and then you'll have to turn around. I'm not sure if you can do like a U shape or if you have to go down the same trail just backwards. That's what I'm going to find out. The other trail that I'm going to look at going to is there's a plane crash. I think it's the McGilvery staging area, and you go up maybe about a 45-minute hour ride. If you're taking it, at a decent pace. There's a plane crash site. Now, it's a World War II plane. It's an American military plane. Story was back in the 40s it had clipped a mountain, spun around, and crashed at the site. It's a site that you can go to and do some exploring. The tail section is still there, so it's a very it's an area that a lot of people want to go to. I got a little bit of a dry throat. It's been dry here lately, and then talking and with the air like that doesn't make for a good conversation. So, but I'm looking at basically that the Gap Trail, the McGilvery Trail, and then doing some exploring on the traditional trails. Another trail here, I've been there, but I haven't really explored it in depth the way it should have been explored, was Porcupine Hills. The locals call it the Porkies, and so I want to kind of try that one as well. That one's probably about, I think, 2 hours ish south of Calgary. So it's closer to my area. I would say it's about an hour and a half from my house, maybe an hour and 45 minutes. I've been there a couple times, but like I said, it was limited in where I actually explored. So there's other things as Lil. It's an old lost town in the Crow's Nest Pass area. That's going to be near the town of Frank. Again, smaller, lighter rides. Those are good. But you're going to start seeing regular riding coming in, I would say, by depending on the weather. I mean, you can go both ways. I'm looking at better weather riding in probably April sometime, late April. If the weather's better, probably early April, late March, we'll start getting out there and doing weekly rides. So the idea is every weekend, the bike gets put in the back of the truck and we hit a trail. So everywhere between southern Alberta, all the way to Edmonton, to the Rockies, Caroline, that's going more close to BC. And then, of course, on the interior of BC, anywhere between Fernie and Sparwood, there's a bunch there. And then there's another place, I forget the name of it now, Kukanutsa, I believe it's called. So that's going to be a really nice area. And I think that borders Idaho. So again, right in the southern part. So those are riding areas that are going to be amazing to get to. So you'll start seeing some of that. So the vlogging is going to be there. Traditional dirt biking, of course, my riding ability is limited, and the lack of the riding that I've been to is my biggest handicap. So I'm going to try to take a little bit of weekday rides to improve my body positioning, practice clutch control, practice balancing, practice some obstacles. Like I said, I live in an area where I do have usage where I can just hop it off from my backyard and take off. From there, I'm going to go in and do a better ride. So usually on a Saturday or a Sunday, you hit the trail. It's about a 2 hour ride for the most part of the trails going to the west. And then that's when I'll start doing, the quality vlogging, the really nice photography, make it look really good, do ride reviews. And that's where I'm going to start incorporating some of my dirt bike, what's it called? Some of my dirt bike stuff in terms of, reviewing motocross boots, reviewing any material that I have, do pre-ride checks with the tools. I'm partnering up with, like I said, Lethbridge Honda, where I have a friendly relationship. And so right now it might grow into something better, but for now I'm just going to be partnering with them and giving them a lot of shout outs. They've been really good to me and everything else. So we got the swag coming in. So Juan, I'll have to get you a t-shirt next time I see you. I just got them probably about 2 weeks ago. I have to send some out. Went to send some t-shirts out to the US, some of my supporters, but apparently the mail system, you just can't mail packages anymore. You got to pay a duty or a tariff before you mail it out. You got to do a lot of hoops to jump through. So with that, I'm just gonna basically, be careful on expectations when you go down to the states. I've got to do a little bit more uh, legwork just because the transfer of goods are now being firewalled, and so we gotta have that lag time. But not sure what other trails you guys like to ride. I'm more of an easy single track obstacles. Again, I'm not at the riding ability where it would be hard enduro, be more of soft to medium enduro. Dirt bike's running good, it just needs more hours, right? And I'm hoping that I ride enough for by the end of this summer, I gotta, either rebuild the engine or redo the tires and upgrade it. That's how much riding I plan on doing in the next few, months and all that. So it's kind of what we're doing it. Like I said, these are just 15-minute moto minutes. We're at the 12-minute mark almost now, so we got about 3 more minutes. You can come and go as you please. Feel free to chat what you like. As the channel grows, and if this becomes popular, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand on, and I'm going to make sure that it, has better topics. I can include some, what's it called? You can start interviewing people, having a bit more discussions everywhere between gear to dirt bikes to trail riding, events, what's new in the dirt bike world, sponsor shout outs, when I get something, be able to do a bit of a show and tell on a live. So that's kind of where I'm at with this whole channel and where we're at. So next little while, we're going to do some moto minutes. March, I might have to take a break on a couple of episodes because I just have some moving logistics. So we'll see if I have continuity. But usually, I'm hoping to have a good core audience by the end of March, and then we continue on this every Tuesdays at 6 o'clock. If it doesn't work, then I'll readjust the time frame and stuff like that. So that's kind of where we're at with it. But I'm concerned. Go back into trail riding before we close the Moto Minute down. Bruderheim is where I did most of my riding, and that's just basically in a river ravine with a lot of sand. Great area, I loved it. Tons of soupy socks there, tons of tight single tracks. It was a great place. It's definitely not bad. Comparing it to other parts of the province, though, yeah, you're gonna have a lot of less quality there. But it's good to get out on a weekend with your friends, spend a few hours. If you're a family and you're just getting into the riding, it's easy and friendly for kids. So the Bruderheim is really well. One thing I never tried there was Redwater, and they had sandy area. Never tried it, but this year I might be able to get up there to do a little bit of riding in Redwater. Bruderheim again is my area. Would like to try to go to Fort Assiniboine, which is the center of Alberta and geographical center right in the middle of the province. It's a mud bog though, but if you get a single track, you might be able to weave your way through the easier ones. I think a lot of people who use it are more ATV riders. So that's kind of where we're at with this. But anyway, guys, I really appreciate you coming aboard. I guess we got another 30 seconds. Just want to kind of, work this up. I think I'm working some bugs out with the channel to make it a little bit more vibrant. Feel free to come in anytime you want, say what you want, and we can get a conversation started. But for now, that's kind of it for this episode. We'll stay tuned for a new video coming out with the showroom spotlight, and other short contents and long videos. So anyway, guys, you guys take it easy. Thanks for coming along. Hopefully my voice clears up next live with you. And yeah, we'll catch you guys later. Remember, let's stay soupy on these trails. Take it easy. Bye.